A long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, luminous beings hope to finally escape the cruel machinations of crude matter. Hi everyone, welcome to our Star Wars game. My name's Philip, I'm the Living Force. That's right, I try to make the intros very antagonistic between the groups. Although right now we have but two players with us from different groups because, guys, past couple sessions stuff's been going on, and I will just tell you right now, straight up front here, we are drawing towards the end of this very interesting kind of like dual prong adventure. But before we even get into reading our invocation for the evening, the three of us were just talking about some Star Wars books. So I'm gonna finish a thought I had. But we figured why not do that on stream, as we sort of just wait for stuff to get ready here. And the point is basically this: the Bane trilogy wraps up. You do not learn sort of the specifics of what goes on, but sort of a victorious character from the end of it, and their new apprentice, are referenced in some reference books, and then that apprentice's apprentice, and that apprentice's false apprentice, are talked about in some EU now legend stuff. I will definitely say that I do feel like there's so many things from legend, because those books were coming out, I guess, like 2010 or so. When's the last one?
Yeah. Well, you look at, there is some fun stuff now that you've read that were like, if you go back to the Tales of the Jedi comics, so where Nomi Sunrider, the Jedi Master that trains her Master Thawne, is on the same planet as
Ambria.
Khalib. Yeah, he's on Ambria.
Yeah, that's where the lake is, right?
Right.
The
He is the one.
Jedi.
Yeah, he is the one that is like, he is the Jedi Master that pushed the dark side into that lake.
Right. Yeah, that's super cool. I love that.
I also just like that there's a dinosaur again.
Yeah.
Really
Just a Triceratops.
I took linguist largely so I could just get very rare languages, because I speak Chukthese. I may know a couple of old Chukthese poems, which is the language of Master Thawne.
Chukthese nuts.
Yeah,
Chukthese nuts. That you classed it right up.
Wow, that went downhill.
No, it was even so. The Darth Bane books were even earlier. Dynasty of Evil came out in I guess like 2009. So those were 2006, 2007, 2009, where that was that trilogy. And they kind of didn't do too much stuff after that. Drew Karpyshyn, Drew Karpyshyn is actually somebody who I consider one of the three major architects of Legends continuity. Because let's see, I would say Timothy Zahn obviously was so influential at the beginning. I think also Kevin J. Anderson, who not necessarily my favorite writer, but a lot of his ideas are very cool, and he is so prolific in the 90s. Like, so many planets and species and things are from him. And then the other person I think is Drew Karpyshyn, because Drew Karpyshyn wrote a little video game called Knights of the Old Republic. And then wrote the Darth Bane trilogy, and then was one of the major writers at the beginning of SWTOR.
Yep.
So
and,
he kind of
he wrote most of the class stories for that, didn't he?
I believe so. Yeah.
Or like supervised.
And then he wrote the Darth Revan book, which is the bridge between the two KOTORs and the SWTOR.
Yeah, so
I need to read the Darth Revan book.
It's a fun one. I find it. I don't know if Pierce agrees with my problem with it, that it's kind of just a very unfulfilling ending in my opinion. Just because it's like it's a real bridge between stuff, but there's a lot of very cool things in it.
I still think it is an ending. It does feel like an ending. It just feels like an anticlimactic one. I'm not necessarily as let down with it.
Yeah, but
it is like one where like, okay. The scene like right before that was a lot cooler. Like a couple scenes that we did like a couple chapters ago. Maybe we should have just gone out on that.
But I sort of he's really bridging stuff, so I don't really blame him too bad for that. But no, so I would say he's one of the sort of Legends continuity. I would say those are like three of the sort of major people.
I guess those are our Star Wars recommendations this week.
There's some Star Wars recommendations.
There's a bleak work of the authors that we have discussed.
Yeah. I don't know. I also have fond memories for, like, I read a like a YA series basically called Young Jedi Knights that was written by Kevin J. Anderson, I think, and someone else. And those books were about like Jason and Jaina solo training at like the academy on Yavin 4 and all that stuff. Some friends of mine would really rag on Kevin J. Anderson because there's a Wookiee trainee named Lauke in that.
Okay.
And Lauke would do things like eat food, and everyone would go, "Oh, way to go, Lau! We always thinking with your stomach." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's that. You probably shouldn't have written that. You should have just done your thing." I'm so excited about tonight's game. Now, you guys may notice that, as I sort of mentioned, we have 2 players here tonight. We may be having more as time goes on, but if anyone watched our previous episode of Crude Matter, some of this might make some sense. So let me go ahead and read our invocation, and then
So many questions.
then we can sort of do a recap of what Boz recalls. And then we can get on into it. So, we're kind of down to some of the prime, like the bigger ticket quotes here, as it were. To know what the people want is to demonstrate superior skill. To make them want what you want them to want is to demonstrate supreme skill. Sistros Nevet. Sage of Duarte. I should have let you guys guess who it was. So far, you basically know Yanjons are the real, like pessimistic ones. Don't trust anyone. Love's a sham. Fayas are, like, practical, I think is how you've described them, Pierce.
Yeah.
They're kind of like...
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Sistros
Pragmatic.
is like, manipulate everyone around
Yeah,
you.
Sistros is like pander. And Brata is like, guys, dark side seems okay, right? Like, what's the problem? Like, maybe let me
Just
just
like, what if we just poke it a little bit? See
Hey
what
guys,
happens.
hey guys, can I just see those texts real quick? Like, I don't know what's the deal. Come on. I imagine Brata Donlos talking like that. All the rest of the stages are, yes, we do. And Brata's like, yeah, but also guys, I don't know, maybe it would be like weird, or it would be, maybe it's like a joke. We should just read these ancient dark texts. It's like a joke.
This is a reference for only Philip. But
Okay.
in the office that is Slow Horses, I feel like he's the Scottish guy that's trying to sell raffle tickets.
That's yeah.
That's that stage.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
So it was only for Philip.
Insert laugh here. Oh my gosh, I really like Slow Horses. I'm glad they've already shot another season.
I'm so happy about it.
I also just started watching Blackbird on Apple Plus. I gotta say, Apple's like doing a good job of putting on shows that are good. I also like Loot. But enough about the shows on Apple Plus I like. Let's talk about what last happened in
We're
this
not
year.
sponsored, by the way.
We're not. The idea that we're sponsored by anything. Let's talk about what happened to our dear friend Boz Cramey in our last adventure. Basically, Boz found himself at the controls of an escape pod that was about to ram into a station. The station he'd escaped from a while back because he didn't know what Sith were, and it seemed like a better thing than trusting the weird guy with the accent. As Boz and Lauke very impressively switched places, the group then proceeded to sort of like infiltrate the station to some extent. There were some shenanigans Boz may or may not have, but definitely did go further down the dark side to track. And you guys realize that the station is under siege by perverse and who has seemingly turned the Stennis shifter staff, who have now shed their gold filigree masks to sort of be attacking you, but you guys were able to dismask most of them. You discovered Locke's body, which was convenient. So basically, Lauke left Sanguinaries and now is in. I don't think we've said it in game, but it's basically he's in like clone number 6, because after a while you gotta just dump the clone body and make it new. So he's in a cloned body. Sanguinary now has no longer sees these amber visions, no longer has anyone in his head. You guys continued on and kind of looking for either things you could find or things you could use to help yourselves. But you then kind of both were inexorably drawn towards the good old Rancor room. Because you knew there was a Rancor, you figured maybe we can use a Rancor to, you know, fight this stuff, get our way free here. So Sanguinary went in.
Constructed.
Boz went with him. I'll note that. You guys walked in and were like, wow, this Rancor chamber is kind of empty, but something feels off. Then a glob of spit fell between the two of you, and you looked up to see a Rancor who was like vampiring across the ceiling, like crab walking on the ceiling, then fall down on you with open jaws, massive face tentacles. Boz Cramey, your eyes filled with amber. And when they sort of retake shape as you gain control of this Thalothian body once more, you look out, you find that you are staring out of a sort of, realistically, kind of the top part of it is stained glass, but the rest of it is sort of transparent steel, but it is set within cathedral walls. You do feel the ground beneath you is kind of like shuddering and moving irregularly, and in the distance you see a basically, so the point of, so all you see is like the expanding wreckage of a large Sith cruiser.
I immediately go. Where'd the Rancor go?
That's. Oh.
As Boz says, where'd the Rancor go? As Sanguinary said, I suppose that's O. You guys look over to I don't know, to Izdark, to Adelard, and instead just falls down.
Hey.
Once again, catatonic.
He's really having a hard go of it. I suppose that would be the exit of some of our
What is that?
companions.
Wait, no. Stymie, right? Yeah, Stymie, is that you?
We have talked, Boz. We had a
Right,
whole conversation.
Right,
Sanguinary.
Sambo.
Sanguinary.
It's right, yeah, Sangi. Sangi, is that you? You're in your boat. Where are Lauke and
Well,
Are they around?
So, okay, well, first of all, don't worry about that. And there is a unconscious Rancor on the ground. In theory, it should remain subdued for some time, though it is of a different kind of origin. So I'm not entirely sure.
You might want to make a
got
check
that much.
specifically on that sooner or later, by the way. Also to that point, the Rancor, it's sort of is kind of on its, no, it fell forward. So the Rancor is like on its stomach, you know, sort of like hunched up, like face like this, and just kind of back, you know, bent oddly. There are these two tendrils, but they seem to have like retracted a fair bit. They're now only sticking out about like a foot or so. And the Rancor is definitely like, you know, like kind of, there's like a whistling snore. So the Rancor is clearly, like alive.
This is fascinating.
So, where to begin? So, first of all, Boz, Lauke is out of my body into his own, right?
Right.
We managed to also find this room with the Rancor, as you recall.
Yes, the best thing I remember it was to use this as a landing pad.
Yes, it was more of a sort of a snatching situation. But yes, it attempted to use those tendrils to drain life force from us, whether or not that is spiritual or chemical, I'm uncertain. It didn't actually sort of succeed with me or, I guess, technically with you. But...
Oh, point of order. Razor sharp slashes all around your chest surrounding the thing. Let me actually look. I forget if he degraded, deteriorated condition. Sorry, continue.
And so then, at some point, our compatriots were sort of standing out in the hallway, sort of firing in at the Rancor to assist us from the hallway. Adelard / Eisdark to you ran in to assist. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but the doors began to get locked down, and then this section of the ship was jettisoned away. So we are currently floating in space.
And Boz, upon hearing this, you do sort of notice that, like, the ground is occasionally shifting and you have to find your feet, as if you're in sort of a more rapidly spinning single spire that had the base of the Rancor room on it that is kind of just off on its own.
That explains that. So what now?
Well, as far as that goes, I cannot confirm this. I have sort of just my deductions, but I believe that we must have freed the other Chiss, and based off of the incredible piloting skill I witnessed this ship perform, Lauke must have been at the controls. And so I have to assume that his sister would have been with him, or he would not have jettisoned away in hyperspace. But they did kill the Sith cruiser there, presumably with Lord Needle aboard it. So that's
so wait, you
that's a
weren't
plus.
there for all this.
No, this is based off of my assumption, sort of off of what I witnessed outside.
He's making some pretty solid assumptions there, Sanguinary. Yeah, you guys are just stuck in here.
I'm basing that simply off of the piloting skill and the fact that it flew away at hyperspace. And given how much everyone took every opportunity to express how upset they were that I was not Lauke when I was with you, I have to assume that level of pilot skill has to have been Lauke, having never witnessed it myself.
Right, yeah, he's actually, it's kind of unnatural.
Yes, which would be the only reason to me to see someone who be able to destroy a Sith ship with such acumen, and knowing what I know about Lyala and Lauke's feelings towards being sort of united, I imagine one would not leave without the other.
You also,
that makes sense.
You also did roll a pretty high, like, look roll, right?
Yeah.
So I will say he rolled stupidly high on the piloting I had him do for stealth, his vehicle roll for stealth. So yeah, it was hard to see the ship, but you did basically see a single fighter take out an entire cruiser using weapons the likes of which you've never seen. Like breacher missiles that spread acid across the hull, and then they fired in like glowing spheres of plasma right into the ship's. It was a lot. It was basically a lot. So, and then they got the fuck out of there.
It would seem so, yes. I do not know what has come of Kyra, which is my companion. That
right, yeah, I'm affiliate. We met actually back in the Shadow Realm, whatever that place was.
Right, of course. And I do not know where your body is, nor Eisdark's body, nor how we're going to get back.
That was my next question. What do you do now if we're in a spire that's been jettisoned from the main ship?
I suppose we could try to see if there are. I was hoping that a ship might tow us back in, but I assume we're going to try to have to see if there are some sort of, if this is some sort of escape pod or something. Perhaps there are some controls.
Well, I mean, I'd hope so. I don't think they built a detachable spire that had some way to do something, right? Actually, I shouldn't make assumptions with crazy people like this. They honestly could do anything.
But I have to assume
it's literally the two scouts are stuck on a runaway ship. This is just the two. You have 0 vehicle points.
The best the best option we have is to try to ride this Rancor through space back.
Amazing.
Right, do we have any very large helmets?
Rancor-sized bubble helmet. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes. So we're So that's what we're going to have to battle. But I do think it is important we keep the Rancor alive. It does seem like it would be. We do still have Darth Perverse on the ship that we are trying to return to, and the Rancor.
Well, I mean, we should keep our options open. Obviously.
Exactly.
All right. Timby, why don't we take a look around this place and see what we can find?
I will also mention that the other group had found, they just had not sort of like gone about it. You are basically in like a large chapel, Boz, has just been converted to like a high-ceilinged Rancor pen. At sort of an end of it, there is a door that has a sheet of Durasteel blocking most of it, but that you guys could climb over and out if you wanted to leave this chamber.
You climb over the door.
So basically, imagine that there's like an exit that has a like a 6-foot sheet of Durasteel like laid in front of it, so that if you wanted to, you could squeeze up through the top of it and escape through that.
Okay.
Almost as if they'd sealed the chamber off, you know, on account of Rancors.
Speaking of,
can't mention why.
how long do I estimate in general would normally be for a Rancor?
I want you to make, because you're very good at it, make a Rancor anatomy roll.
Okay. I am very good at that.
Well, great. Then I haven't done anything wrong.
Um, 16. Extreme success.
16 extreme success. With 16, with an extreme success rather, you believe that if you were to, probably would be good to wait like half an hour, but this Rancor is basically rousable at this point. Like, you could shake this Rancor, and it would groggily probably not be at full capacity, but you could get it awake. It will naturally wake up on its own in between 2 and 4 hours.
How did you get that thing to fall asleep, by the way? Was it those darts you were talking about?
Oh, yes. I ran up its back and stabbed the darts into its tendril.
I mean, would have done the same thing in your position?
It was one of the most thrilling moments of my life.
I'm sure. Honestly, I'm sad I wasn't there to see it. Well, I mean, I was there to see it, but I wasn't there to see it. You know what I'm saying. Anyways, can I look around this place? Is there only way out of this room over the Durasteel barrier?
Why don't you go ahead and make a look roll to see if you see any other sort of exit.
I'll do just that. That's a 13. I believe that is an extreme success.
All right, so another exit is the door you came in through that is now dented and like smashed into place of the wall, and the way it's like moving and you hear like a faint buzzing, you think that it has that technically doesn't open to vacuum, that opens to a barely functioning force field. So beyond that door is space.
Oh, and I think you described that the door was like buckling.
The door's like, but it is held, and there is like some modest, general force field. But this whole thing, and again, we're just kind of in one of these situations as.
So it feels like this whole spire is held together by duct tape and bent a bit.
Fairly. That's a fair way of putting it.
Right, so maybe we should get out of this room on each end.
Well, yes.
How are you with climbing?
Onto the back of an animal, fairly good.
Why don't you give me a boost then?
I'm not the worst, but yes, sure. I can give you a boost.
Okay. Alright, on my go. 1, 2, lift. Roll. Is a 23, so that is a hard success.
Very good. So yeah, you kind of just without any issue, and this is honestly climbing over this thing is an easy situation. It's double whatever your climb score is, even for you can score an easy success even if you roll within double your climb score. So Boz, if you're rolling a hard, you basically just vault up, kind of push open.
Climb score of 60.
A door. Yeah, you kind of manage to push open the door beyond, and yeah, there's like a little area you could sort of climb through. So are you guys going to just leave Eyes Dark unconscious in this chamber?
Well,
right, he's here too. Can you hand him up to me and I'll
give it a shot. Yeah.
You could just leave him sleeping next to a Rancor, think that's a very interesting.
I mean,
place
I
for a guy to
certainly
wake
could,
up.
but I'm not going to.
It feels like
I'm
a
not that
fitting.
far down the dark side track.
It feels like it might be a fitting end for Isdark, but not for Adelard.
Right, yeah, it's their tracks. All right, you take his legs and I'll take his hands.
Sure. And I'll attempt to sort of get him up to you, so we can just pull him up this wall.
If you guys are, yeah, go ahead and make a. Both of you roll a lift.
That's a normal success.
Normal success. Sanguinary.
Oh, sorry. Ooh, that seems not great.
But is it like super not great?
It's not super not great. It's just...
Okay. So in that case, Sanguinary is little help trying to shove him up, and you guys are really like pulling, like you really are pulling Adelad's birdie. It takes a few tries. Eventually, you kind of get him over, and Boz, you manage to kind of just like it's not a graceful situation. You kind of have him fall onto you, but you find that you're in a just sort of like in a different sort of passage-looking area here. Sanguinary, you can now climb out if you wish to. Just make a climb roll.
Yo, I still have the amulet in my chest.
Oh yeah. But you got a lot of like weird like razory marks around it, as if like a tendril might have stabbed into your chest right there. And the thing that really helped you was the fact you had a weird amulet in place.
That's a success on the climb.
Sanguinary is able to sort of climb up over there, so you guys kind of have all dropped out. The chamber beyond is incredibly dark, although in kind of a mild situation of concern, there is some light coming from whatever sort of planet you can see in the distance at any stars, because like there's a big chunk of it that opens directly to space, blocked only by a thin ray shield. You suspect were you to sort of fall through it, you would be then no longer subject to what artificial gravity remains on this ship. You'd be out in the vacuum. Yeah, those force fields really just kind of keep the atmosphere in. They, you can definitely pass through them in a really dangerous way. It almost is like when he said, "Don't go down there; it's dangerous." Like, despite all the other many lies, that was a legit warning. Unfinished basement. Nevertheless, this passage continues on, branching off a couple of times, but it seems to sort of lead through a small section of the catacombs that still are down here. And why don't you both make a look roll?
Can I make a track roll instead? If I'm looking for like a room that looks important.
Yeah, if you're looking for specifically a room, I don't think that would work. But if you wanted to look for like who has passed here recently, you could do that.
I'll just do a little roll. It's not a bad score.
Technically a success.
Technically,
Barely.
Success. Gotcha.
Barely.
Sure.
Let's see. I'm going to use 2 luck points and make that a hard success.
Oh, great. Okay, so as the two of you sort of like slowly kind of pass your way down this hall, Boz, you kind of pretty quickly sort of point out to Sanguinary that there does appear to be a staircase leading up at the end of a long passage that you're sort of staring down, almost like you're leading him all the way over this way from here. You're like, so.
All right. Before we do it, can I tie Arsdom back onto my back like it was before?
Yes, I feel like... Yeah, I mean, he still has weird straps. Yeah, that's fine. Some of those straps have been... I mean, everyone got messed up by a Rancor to some degree, but sure, we can sort of say that you're able to do that. So, you lash Isdark's unconscious body to your back, which is something you've done.
His legs are probably like dragging behind.
Yeah, it's something you've done a few times here, Boz. Something about the animate anatomy doesn't seem to take to this kind of switching amber light switching brain stuff as well as some of the others. It's weird. But you guys, if you're going both not fast and not stealthy, no checks are required to traverse kind of the more treacherous sections of this, because you can really take your time and go slow. If you want to be stealthy, quick, or both, let me know and we'll need some rules for it.
Well, I don't feel like there's anyone here besides us.
We should
Just think
probably
we
be
do.
quick so we don't drift we drift
Yes.
as little from the original place as possible, I think.
That seems wise, yes. So
So-
we'll move quickly, but perhaps safely, keeping out for just random holes into space.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So you are moving quickly.
Yes.
Go ahead in that case. You can do either. I'll let you do either run, athletics, or lift. It's just kind of, sort of, any of those could maybe represent the nature of the way you're kind of trying to move a little more quickly over this treacherous terrain.
I will
Or
do
climb.
run.
Actually, climb instead of lift.
Those are the same scores for me, so.
Perfect.
Okay. Well,
24. So that is a hard success on run.
On run. Okay.
we're gonna-
and Boz. I do need you to actually take a penalty because you got a guy in your back. If you want to, you can spend a force point and not take the penalty. Or you can just roll the penalty and you'll use it if it's higher than 2.
so I
Roll
spent
2 again.
Great.
So, that's fine.
I spent a force point to re-roll, so that is a 4. So that is a extreme success for running.
For running. Okay, so basically, your guys, rather than doing any fancy flips or like hardcore parkour, like climbing along the walls, you guys just run and kind of jump over some holes. And Boz has a guy on his back, but he gets a hard success and does it. And the two of you guys kind of clatter down this hallway. You see some other chambers on either side. They do seem like more like weird burial plots. But if you're kind of just moving sort of quickly through them, nothing jumps out at you as being like, nothing is Rancor level notable.
Nothing looks like the place we found Lauke's body in either, right?
You guys are moving pretty quickly, but you do know what to look for, and I think actually both of you are present when Sanguinary like found that. So I will say
Yes.
you do not see any of those like half high galactic letters that are sort of a thing for that. As you are running, and so if you want to go slowly and check for that, you can, but you double back. But at this point, as you guys sort of run, you make it sort of basically across the area where there's the larger holes, and you do see there is this staircase, like a spiraling staircase going up. Also extremely dark in this area. Sanguinary, you have a pretty darn high look roll, right?
Pretty good.
One thing I will say that you actually do notice just upon sort of glancing at it is you see some plastic, like either plastic or glass, like shattered on the grounds, and you can actually tell some of the light fixtures have been smashed, so that there is no. It's like it's going up into a pure inky blackness.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. Hang on one second. Can I go through Adelard's things and find his light drone
You may.
and try to activate that?
Absolutely. Since you're from this time period, it's very easy to do. Yeah, Sanguinary, you turn on Adelard's light drone and kind of send it.
Has he had that the whole time?
Yes.
This whole future thing is a pain in the ass.
But do you not have lights in your time?
We had light drones. They just didn't look like that. They were like 3 times as large, and they didn't fit in your fucking pocket.
All right. So are you just sending the lighting drone up?
Yeah, I imagine just
All right.
in front, just to sort of give us a heads up of
It
what we're
kind
looking
of begins to go up. Fucking Christ, it's whatever. I'll never have one good anything. As you guys are you actually hear some noises, and you then do hear sounds of like scuffling and movement ahead of you. Tell you what, Pierce, since you activated it, please roll me a D100 with a score of 10. So 10 is a normal success.
Cool. Okay. Philip, I rolled a 1.
Did you roll a 1?
I rolled a 1.
Okay. Fascinating. Because...
Oh, wow.
So, this is where this actually matters. I'm glad you're sort of seeing this for how the system works. So your 1 is into something with a 10, which means you cannot have a vital success because the score is not 20 or higher.
Okay.
So the innate dodging skill of this little drone, you have rolled an extreme, which is a 5th or under. So basically, had you rolled a 2 or a 1, you get the extreme. The creature attacking it, or creature doing whatever it's doing, the unarmed strike that's being made, is a score. The unarmed whatever being made is a score over 20, which means a 1 in this case is a vital. So what you guys see, and I get to delete it from a sheet, is this thing go up, and there's a moment of, you hear like scuffling sounds, and then you hear crash, and the just as you're kind of like walking up to it, it is now completely dark once again.
Well, that's not good.
No, and I stand corrected on being alone.
I'm going to take my blaster out.
You actually do hear voices speaking in a language neither of you understand. There's something eerie about the way these individuals are kind of whispering at one another, but they're sort of basically, I'll say, Sanguinary, what are your respective listen scores? No. Yeah, listen will be better. Yeah, what's that?
85.
85, okay.
75.
Okay, yeah, so you're actually both pretty good. So basically, you're hearing, like, Stunkel sabrak nisteles inemeso orosendege yakoshmare. And the voices are actually getting a little quieter, and you're hearing footsteps moving.
Seems like they know
Does
you're here, at least. It's a wreck.
Yes. Yes. Does it sound anything like we've heard any of the servants or anything in the castle speak?
Make an easy linguistics general. So double your linguistics general score. You can try that as well. The other of you, you've both heard him.
I literally cannot fail this because my linguistics is 60.
Well, you can fail it if you roll a 100.
Ah, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
that was a 38, so that's a success. Normally a success.
Perfect.
59, which is also a normal success.
Perfect. So both of you are like, you kind of just exchange a look. Although it's you exchange a look in the dark and you can't see each other's face, but you know you're both like, it's those guys.
Okay.
Did we kill him?
Well, I mean, this is the way we have to go. So
we kill him.
I guess.
I go around the corner and try to shoot.
So it's a spiral staircase. You look around the corner, make a look roll with a penalty, as you sort of try to peer up the spiral.
68, which is a success.
Success. You look around the corner and kind of like, as you sort of try to adjust to the total darkness in here, whatever latent or like whatever just like glow is coming off of your blaster pack or whatever, you don't see anyone. You still hear feet going up.
I'm gonna chase after them.
Wonderful. So you rush off into the darkness. Perfect. Sanguinary, you see him running into the dark. What are you gonna do?
I'll just flick out the Jaboka and go running after him.
All right.
I'm running up the stairs. I start tied to my back, like feet, like hitting the steps behind me, and I have my vibroblade in one hand and my blaster in the other.
You do have eyes dark on your back, my friend.
I do, yes. So
All
do you want
right.
me to roll with the penalty?
You're going to roll a penalty here in just a second, but I get a bonus. Okay. Roll a dodge with a penalty, sir.
All right, yeah, sure. I'm gonna use the force point to not have a penalty.
Okay, I think that's not a bad plan. And this is sort of like a pre-combat exchange that's going to sort of happen.
Right.
That's a normal success.
Okay. Okay. Cool. I had an extreme. So. Okay. So they get to roll to see how many they take away. Haha! You lose 1, 2, 3 force points. They get a bonus because they are another one is going to be doing this to the unconscious Eyesdark, so you'll have to explain this to Jed. He loses. They get a bonus on this as well because he's there. 30. He also loses 3.
Okay.
So you both are down 3 from the outset. At this point, we will have a combat sequence. Now, the 2 of you know they're there, so this is now a full-on, fight. But at this point, what is it you guys want to do? So, Boz.
Oh wait, I have a bonus on my dodge. I'm stupid. Can I roll one more time just in case? Because I spent a force point.
You spent a force point to get rid of the.
Yeah.
So throw an X. So we'll say that you were rolling rather than flat. You were rolling with 1 bonus.
Nope.
Okay.
Just
so Eyesdark is now down. Oh, Eyesdark only has 2 force points. That sucks. So as you two are rushing up these stairs, Boz, you can kind of be calling out to Sanguinary that they kind of were hiding in the shadows. You do notice that they were moving through a door, and one of them was kind of pulling a door, but when they sort of saw you, they kind of just slunk in the shadows at your kind of just weird body. So there's kind of 2, one is basically there. You think there are 3 of them. There is 1 on Eyesdark, 1 on you, so you're kind of pincered in, and then there's 1 at the door beyond you who's kind of just looking back and might slam the door or might whatever. So kind of you seeing this, what do you want to do?
I want to kill him.
You want to kill, so you're going to try to attack everyone, just try to
yes,
slash and shoot and murder? Okay, if you want to do this, what you can do is you can, with 1 penalty each, you can swing your vibroblade and your blaster and basically be doing like attacking with multiple weapons.
Okay.
You get a penalty on each of those. Sanguinary, what are you going to do?
Given what we've seen of the Crypt Keeper and such like that, I'm just gonna see if I could use my smell to sort of try to get a better sense of where they are, and then just sort of strike out at one with my Jaboka.
Okay, I'll tell you what. You can make the smell with no penalty, but you will have 1 penalty on the attack because even though you're... Actually, no. Make the smell roll. That's fine.
Okay.
The vibroblade attack is...
Well, hold on. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. God, I have a 99. Oh, wait, no, I roll with a... Okay, that's much better. 49, so that's a hard success.
Hard success. I will say with a hard success, you don't have a penalty on the thing. You have a good position on where they are. Okay. That being said, they're going to be fighting back. If they're fighting back against you, you won't gain any... They're not going to be penalized for the darkness in this case because of since they're fighting back. Okay, so Boz, you are attacking them. Roll both of your attacks and tell me what they said.
I rolled them already.
Okay, what are they?
The first one was a normal success with the penalty, and the other one was an extreme.
With which weapon is which?
I think I could just choose one. I assumed I was doing the sword and then the gun.
Okay, so sword, normal, gun, extreme. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. They are going to fight back against you. A tie goes to you, which means your extreme is going to do some damage here. I can get it to a vital by spending 5 of their force points. For one of them. The other one, who's kind of getting attacked both by Sanguinary and this... Oh, so actually that person will lose a thing on their... Basically, Sanguinary is attacking the one sort of behind, so this one's fight back. 20... Sanguinary, roll your attack.
Okay. See, 17 is a extreme success.
Extreme success. Okay, so you have exceeded their values in everything except Boz. You so basically when you're making multiple attacks, you kind of are going to basically handle both of them. So the fighting back, you are blasting away the people. So what is the your blaster is it a high, normal? What's its damage? Normal. Okay.
Where does it say that?
If we don't have it on your sheet, it's on the thing. So is it just like a blaster or pistol?
It is a blaster.
Cool. Okay, so that's one. So that's 1, 2. So you are dealing with an extreme. You're dealing 1, then plus what you've exceeded them by. So 1 is an extreme, so you haven't exceeded. So you're dealing 2 to that guy. The other guy is getting sort of hit up between you both, but between the extreme you've done and the extreme sanguinary's done against their sort of thing. The one sort of behind you, you've kind of hacked into and blasted without trouble. Your normal success with your sort of blade to the guy who was like in front of you, they have actually won this one.
Mm-hmm.
They have beaten you by 1, which means you lose 1 more force point. At which point that guy then draws 1 more force point out of you, then pushes away from you, kind of like it's like the free escape here, and emerges out of the door, and the door is slammed closed. So, 1 Stennis shifter body falls, just easily taken out by the 2 of you. The other managed to just get past kind of your sort of both ways defenses. And now the 2 of you are standing there, eyes dark, weighing heavily, the force leaving you. And again, pitch black. You get the sense these Stennis shifters are okay in the dark.
Seems like it. But there's nothing out. But there doesn't seem to be any.
You basically have like run up like a pretty narrow spiral staircase, like stone cathedral, and there's a pretty small landing. Boz is sort of on. There's a corpse between you two, somewhat indistinguishable from Dark's unconscious body. And
when the other guy gets away, I'm gonna kick the dead guy in frustration.
Sure. Oh yeah. Make a luck roll.
Right.
Sanguinary, you make a luck roll too.
That's a success.
Okay, success. You kick the right target. Sanguinary, you don't have to roll yours. It's fine.
Oh, that's an extreme success.
You kick him in the head. You're just idiot. Yeah. So.
Okay. So since there's no, do we just keep climbing, or are we gonna?
We get to his door. How are you with slicing things?
All right with this. I guess I'll just try to. Maybe I'll try to just like jam it in and try to pry the door.
All right.
I can try and use my vibroblade if it's help. If that helps at all.
Okay, sure. Yeah, if you guys want to, you know what? Just make some attacks with your bladed weapons.
Sure, yeah. I'll do that.
Sure.
That's fine.
69, which is a success, but also nice.
Nice.
Hard success.
We have that. Hold on. Hard success, eh? Then yes, you manage to. So Sanguinary will sort of say that this is really a situation of Boz. Boz uses the vibroblade to like cut through the actual lock mechanism that has been thrown. Sanguinary, you then very adeptly just use the jaboka to like pry the door open at that point. At which point you guys see that what is beyond is like the normal levels. So it is no longer the creepy catacombs. You basically see like kind of like the more public facing areas you were like walking through. You kind of see a gallery of that. There's some sort of there's some kind of like a couple of chambers here or there. Sanguinary, give me a luck roll.
Okay. So Philip, I'm just going to tell you right now, my luck score is 21.
Okay.
I have rolled a 99.
Okay, so
No.
I think this is the first time in this system I have done this.
All right, so
I've
we'll do this like this.
This is exciting.
Okay. I've got it. Sanguinary. What you were rolling for was there happened to be a place in this above area that you guys have been to before. Like, are you gonna walk up and be like, oh my god, it's our bedrooms, or it's like, is there some like point of reference? So the failure here is that there's not. The fumble is you are 100% sure you know exactly where you guys are.
Okay.
And you believe that if you continue up the spire,
we'll absolutely be back in the dining room. If we head up to the spire, we'll absolutely be back in the dining room.
You sure about that? It doesn't seem like it's the same place to me.
I could not be more certain.
Well, how do I interact with this? Because I don't know. Because Boz has a good sense of direction.
Boz has a good sense of direction, but you have to remember, Boz, they walked around without you.
That's true. All right. Sure, yeah. I mean, if you don't think anything is through here, then just keep going upstairs.
Well, I mean, through the door we've just opened. I believe if we follow through this way and go that way, we should find another way that leads us directly up to the dining room.
Do we want to get to the dining room? Or?
I mean, that would lead us more towards. That was sort of an area where Lord Wraith was a lot, so I assume there's maybe some sort of control or calm or something there at least.
It's the best leader you've got, so let's go. I'm going to keep an eye out for more of the writing.
More of the writing. Wonderful.
Yeah.
So you two begin sort of just rushing in that direction. Boz, you are keeping an eye out for the writing. Please make a luck roll and a look roll.
Luck roll first. That's a success. 65.
The luck, is it flat? Is it normal success for luck?
A normal success, yeah.
Okay.
And the look roll is an extreme success with it.
You are pretty confident as you're moving that you do not see any of those symbols.
All right.
You need you need a very high luck to sort of conjure a body. You get it. Go ahead.
Right.
I was just saying that as I confidently lead Boz, I will just like kind of either maybe just listening or just keeping it some sort of sense open to try to detect the Stennis shifters should they try to come after.
Roll that listen. Okay. As you're sort of doing that, you're both sort of like, you can kind of run and keep an eye out or ear out as you go. It's not a problem.
That one's good. 11, so an extreme success.
You definitely hear sort of like once you've like gone further, and like, you have to probably run across a couple of concourses to get to like, whatever stuff. But like you do notice that like in the distance far beyond you, you are occasionally hearing some like scuttling sounds and people sticking to the shadows. Whenever you glance back, you don't see anything. Boz doesn't notice them because he's looking at walls. But they're following you. You can't tell how many there are, if it's just those two, or if they have more people up here, but you would imagine that some number of Stennis shifters, were in. I believe actually that you were told there were hundreds of Stennis shifters aboard this vessel, so proportionally there's certainly not 100 in this area with you, but there could be between 10 and 50, based on what you kind of recall you mentioning. So, as you guys run across this area, sort of making your way higher and higher and higher, not finding those necessary things, and also, in the sweetest possible way, not going anywhere useful, we're going to cut across the galaxy.
I'll play.
Here, let's see here, and I gotta slightly readjust us here a little bit.
Chiss match. Excited.
A chiss situation. All right, so, hello, Lyala and Lauke. A situation.
Hello.
When last we saw Lyala and Lauke in Crude Matter, Sanguinary kind of intuited what happened pretty well, but it seems that our chiss destroyed a Sith vessel and now have sort of chosen to return to their area. As you're
Y'all are welcome for that, by the way.
as you're traveling, Lyala, you and Lauke, you jump to hyperspace. You plotted another course. Lyala, I actually want you to make a chistery roll, and Lauke, you can do it too.
All right.
I got a 53. Ooh, I'm going to use luck points to bring that down to a hard success, which is a 49.
Great. Okay, so don't click the box, but you have a hard success. Lauke?
I have a hard success as
Great.
well.
Hard is what you guys needed for this, and also since you both got it, it kind of occurs to the twins at the same moment. You're trying to think of, as you've sort of hopped, oh goodness, as you have all sort of hopped out of, hello.
Hello.
I'll tell you, you actually just jumped here at kind of an inopportune moment because we just cut away from you. But super happy to see you nonetheless. And
Don't worry,
what
I've been carrying you around his back.
what we have cut around is that you are being carried unconscious on Boss's back. We will, however, so we'll be back there in just one moment because we're
Just let me know when I wake up. It's cool.
understood. So, meanwhile, Lyala and Lauke, as the two of you are sort of flying your diamond arrow through hyperspace, you're trying to think of places kind of in this part of the galaxy, sort of moving out from the mid-rim to the outer rim. You have certain concerns about going specifically into the sort of unknown regions because you're not sure what the state will be, but both of you remember. You both remember a Chiss installation, a historical one, in this part of the galaxy. A listening post called Zero Station. You figured this might be a good place for you to go and try to send a secure communication to the Ascendancy.
I don't know, Lauke. What do you think?
How far are we from Zero Station?
Zero Station is out of your way from the Ascendancy, but only like lateral. Like it's not the wrong direction. It's like you're gonna go up and you can still continue on, kind of a situation.
And are we already en route there?
We'll say for ease of stuff, you guys were jumping. Your first jump took you along that path. Sure.
Got it. Lyall, I think we're close to an old listening post out here. If it survived all of these years.
Right. Well, I suppose we should check in and see if our home world and all that still exists. I know there were Chiss, but
I'm sure it still exists.
well,
I haven't seen anything yet that can match the formidacy of the Ascendancy.
right.
Formidancy into it.
Yeah, I think I made that word up, but
I'm down.
You know what? It's a Chiss word. Y'all wouldn't understand.
yeah.
That's fair. All right. So, are you setting a course to Zero Station?
Yeah.
Then to Zero Station you will go. To a remote planet. Frigid and cold. Right in the middle of nowhere. Designated as Hoth.
Oh.
As you emerge in the system and fly down to this white snowy ball, you know the location of Zero Station. Jeremy, this is the thing.
Yeah, I caught it when you said Zero Station.
I figured you would on account of you played this video game. All right, so anyway, as you all sort of fly down, you find kind of in the mountains there is no beacon, nothing active, but you do land at a facility. It is very well hidden, but since you know exactly what you're looking for, you do find a sort of set of blast doors. They are well frozen over, but there is an entryway that you guys can attempt to go through.
All right. Let's go.
All right. As you both sort of disembark, you are hit with absolutely frigid weather. Although, Lyala, I think you are technically still wearing... no, you're not. You're not wearing her stuff. You're in your own body, so you both are very cold. So as you begin walking to the door, could you both make a luck roll for me?
Oh, no.
Yes.
Just fishing for a
39. That is a hard success.
roll so high. Come on, Lauke. I know you can do it.
Hard success.
Damn.
22.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you've ruined the chance for a Wampa fight. Anyway, as you guys get to the as you get to these doors,
Should I do a force point to re-roll then?
if you'd like to take a force point and re-roll, if you want to honor Eyesdark by getting one goddamn trophy, then yes, you can. Because Eyesdark, we haven't even told you what happened to your knife head. Anyway,
No.
so as you guys walk through, there seems to be
Cannot believe
no-
you have done this to me.
There seems to be no sign of any sort of life in this area or any life is far away. Lyala or Lauke, could one of you please make a use computers check to hack this door? Lyala, if you wanted to, you could also do a repair general check to try to like force it open, but you'll need a higher degree of success to do that. You will need an extreme in order to do that.
I'll try the computers.
Okay.
I will do the repairs
Okay.
general. Oh, and that is actually an extreme success with
Wonderful.
a 9.
So, Lauke, as you're sort of like going to the computer station and dusting it off and being like, oh wow, this was certainly updated from our time, but it still feels very old, Lyala just bypasses all the trip things and just shoves the door open.
Never doubted you.
And you notice that there is a chamber within. As you two enter, your sort of Chis DNA triggers the lights to begin to sort of blink on very slowly. But the air within here is incredibly frigid and old. You suspect this has not been used for centuries.
Interesting. Can I look around to see if there's anything of note?
Absolutely.
Like, yeah, anything
Make a
that
look roll.
stands out?
Same.
I'm sorry, it's a look.
Look.
12, which is, I'm gonna spend 1 luck point and make it an extreme success.
Very good. Then, a lot of, it seems like there was like this is like a small facility, like a few people would sort of live here. It was some kind of like, small military outpost. This was back during the sort of whatever, like, this is actually, was primarily used after your time, but you knew that it was built in your time, just for convenience sake. Lyala, I'll say that with a look roll of that good, as you sort of look at various like computer readouts as everything's turning on, you can tell that all the final transmissions were about Republic and Sith movements. So basically, the Chiss were here keeping an eye on whatever war happened between the Republic and the Sith many years ago.
How many years ago? Like,
Based on what you're looking at, because this is that approximately like 1,300 years ago.
all right, so well after our time. But well before this time.
Well after your time, well before this time, because 4,000 years. But Lyala, you do sort of notice, though it is it's interesting. It's antiquated, but it's also still very kind of different from what you're used to. You are pretty quickly able to identify like the primary transmitter console that can go on sort of subspace frequencies. And though it is not something you're familiar with, you know it is the kind it aligns with perhaps what Chiss technology would have become after some amount of time.
It's incorporated some ideas I probably had, but we just didn't have.
I don't know that you were a transmission specialist.
Well, I had ideas. I was real good at all kinds of machines, including the communications one. That's neither here nor there. I'm gonna look at Lauke and say, if we touch base, this might open up a whole can of worms for us. I don't even know if our family's intact, aside from the two of us.
It has to be intact still. We ruled the ascendancy. How
That was 4,000 years ago. A lot can change. I mean, And how do we even start? Hey, we're 4,000-year-old chiss who died, but not really, and now we're back in our bodies, but they're not really our bodies, but we look like ourselves. Well, how are we going about this?
Sounds good to me.
It's a good question. Do I still have like some kind of security clearance codes?
You absolutely,
Something.
as a matter of fact, funny you should mention, you definitely have secure codes that you can broadcast along.
I think we have to try. Maybe we keep the details a little sparse.
Sounds good.
Can we send a...
Perfect sound effects. Thank you so much for that.
You're welcome. High budget channel here.
So, as you send your message, using those ancient codes, after a few moments, you hear as someone is accepting the transmission. Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Who is this? Y'all are broadcasting from an ancient listening post, and you're using Stybla codes, but these haven't been used in... I mean, I only recognized them because I'm a bit of a historian myself.
I'm gonna look at Lauke like...
Historian, what family are you?
I'm Stybla.
See, I told you it'd be fine.
What about y'all?
Where's Stybla?
Well, my name's Lamordia. D&D ref, by the way. What are y'all called?
I'll look to Lyola to see if we're given...
I'm gonna like mute the comm and say, I mean, what are the odds that he'll recognize our names? Me and Lauren have a feeling the odds are super high.
Very well. All right, this is Lauke.
And Lyola.
Lauke and Lyola. Can't say I know you.
Was a member of the Stybla Defense Force.
Stybla Defense Force? I mean, we haven't had our own defense force since... God, you're broadcasting old codes.
They're family heirlooms, so to speak. We just,
I know, I'm
carried
saying
them.
family. Listen, I'm sure... Well, maybe not. Y'all know what's happening, right?
It's complicated. So if you wouldn't mind, just summarizing what's been going on.
We're stuck in lesser space.
Yeah, that's where you're broadcasting from, all right. This person is going to roll a psychology on the two of you to see if they can trust you.
We're not lying.
Roll a 13. Which is pretty good for them. They sort of pause and say, we've been telling all the chiss to come home, but that's probably not a good plan anymore. Scylla is about to fall.
What happened?
We don't understand this enemy. They've been beating us back, and I mean, I'm here on Sposia, but I don't know how we're gonna save the home world.
The enemy. Which enemy? Here in Lesser Space, there's a lot of rumors floating around.
They're not from Lesser Space. Who the hell are you? What are you doing? Why are you in Lesser Space anyway?
We were sent on a top secret mission.
When? By whom? By Stybla? I think I would know about it.
Well, it was a very long time ago. Long time ago. We're older than we sound, much older.
How old?
Well, I mean, technically, we're still, we're old at heart.
It was highly classified information, so perhaps you just weren't made aware of it. We need to talk to the Patriarch.
That's who you're talking to, son.
I don't. Maybe we should tell you our full names.
Nothing else to do but watch our entire people be destroyed. Go ahead.
I'm Stybla'uk'eanuro.
Stybla'uk'eanuro. You hear like computer speaking, booted up. Lauke.
And I'm Stybla'uk'eanuro. Stybla'uk'eanuro.
You said you were a historian, so you might have heard of us, or maybe not. We're just plain old chess, brother and sister team.
I do have a brother and sister, adopted into the family over 4,000 years ago.
Well, I mean, my brother was trial-born, but that's neither here nor there.
He is trial-born, that's true. What the hell are you two playing at? What's this have to do with anything?
It's just who we are.
This file's connected. What the hell were you doing? Why are you, unless, who are you really?
We told you who we are.
It's
and if you are the Patriarch, you should have access to the mission that we were sent on. Some 5,000 years ago.
4,000 years ago.
4,000 years ago.
4,000 years ago, you. Oh my God. What was your mission?
Do we know, like, they have to be a high-level person to have these codes before?
Yes.
We were sent to retrieve some alien technology.
Oh my God. Oh my God, Starflash. Starflash.
Did they get the cipher cassette?
Oh my God. You hear this the hairs on your neck stands up as he sort of says, maybe it's not all lost yet. Listen, I'm not sure if you really are a transmission from 4,000 years ago, but you have just reminded me of something here in our vaults that no one's thought of for thousands of years. But if it's the annihilation of our species, we're digging that out. Call the myth. Call the myth.
Myth?
He's talking to other people. You hear a bunch of voices discussing something.
Wait, what in the crypt do the myth have to do with this?
He kind of just pauses and he says, all right, are you really who you say you are? Is this a temporal distortion? Am I talking to the past?
No, we're here. Very long story. It's us. It's us.
Listen, I'm transmitting you codes. You come to Sposia in any vessel broadcasting these codes, you're not going to be harmed. Might want to wait a beat. See how things don't come via Scylla, I'll tell you that much. Things are about to get real hot there.
Can we do anything to help?
I think you have. You were a voice out of the past, reminding us of something that had been forgotten for millennia.
Well, I mean, some historian you are then. You forgot about something so important. I'm sorry. I've had quite an adventure. I'm gonna shut up.
Lyala, that might be wise, although still appreciate what you've just told us. Y'all come dispose here. If you really are from when you say you are, you're gonna find the Stybla a bit diminished from our previous position, but there's still things we control, and I think the Ascendancy's about to see what we still can do.
Are we no longer the ruling family?
No. We're among the ruling families, but we're pretty diminished even amongst that. All right.
Well, that's what happens when two gung-ho siblings end up 4,000 years in the future. Sorry.
Just listen, there are things I have to see too. You do get some clearance codes broadcast to you, and he basically says, you come find me, and I want to know how the hell, if you really are who you say you are, I want to know how the hell that happened.
It's a long story.
Yeah. Sounds like 4,000 years in the making. With that, he gives you some standard chiss. Nonsense. And cuts the comm. And thus, Lyala and Lauke, by happenstance, prevent the destruction of Scylla. And catalyze the usage of Starflash. Spoiler alert for Thrawn Ascendancy Trilogy.
Knew we did it.
The Force works in mysterious ways.
So we accidentally accomplished our goal just now, like what we.
No, you failed at your goal. All you were supposed to do was get the fucking translation cassette.
Help it.
You helped in a different way.
Okay. You know what?
In the biggest way possible.
Look, I don't know if I want to go back to that. We don't know anyone. All of our other family's dead, and the Stybla aren't even as we knew them. I mean, we got Dan's not here. In a way, we've got a new family.
But the Stybla family still stands, and we have a duty to uphold.
Why? Why? Nobody ever asks that. I was 9 years old when the Ascendancy just came and told me, hey, you gotta do this. You gotta guide these ships through the chaos. Nobody told me why. Nobody tells us. And now we're finally out here in lesser space and learning about all of these other thought they were just creatures, but they're people. We lived in their bodies. There's so much out there that we don't know. I learned everything I need to know about the Ascendancy when I was serving as a Skywalker. That teaches you more as a child than you could ever want to know. And I don't think I care to go back.
So you want to stay and help these others? But what about what he said? They need us back home.
Well, he said that we help them with our ancient knowledge. You know, you've got such faith in the Chiss. I'm sure they'll be just fine. They've done, well, not super great, but they're still around without us. It's not like the two of us are going to make a huge difference there.
She said after they just made the hugest difference.
But you know what? We don't know. We don't know exactly
They've
that.
expended all their difference tokens. Now they're out.
Watch out.
Oh my god.
So
I
what
don't
would
know.
what would you have us do then?
go back to the only people we know?
As
I'm
Lauke,
gonna do the sister.
as
eye
Lauke
pout.
considers what to do as their ship sits on Hoth the snow, covering the diamond arrow, as a wampa begins to track towards them, being like, God, I hope I get to eat some people today, but it's a really long walk. We're gonna cut back to the other place. So, eyes dark. You blink your eyes open. I believe the last thing you saw was rushing through a portal that a red-skinned Twi'lek had made before she disappeared, and you the whole time were pulling this heavy head on your back. Your eyes sort of open up, and you have this like weird kind of like quality, and you feel something heavy on your back, and for a moment you fear that the head is pulling you, but then you can tell that you're actually like on someone's back. Your legs are dragging, your long animate sort of blue legs, and as you sort of glance around, you see that also you feel tendrils like spilling across the sides of your face from the back of Boss's head.
Boss, what is this? What is this?
I dropped
what
him.
is happening?
I dropped him. Oh, you're back! Eyes dark. Oh,
It happened again, did it not?
oh, it absolutely happened again. I've been dragging you around like a fucking backpack for
Hello
a good
there.
hour now.
You could not afford a lift or something. Okay.
No,
Where
no,
are
we're in a
we?
bit of a pickle here, my friend. I did what I could with what I had.
I understand. All right. Well, hold on. Wait. Boss, where is the trophy?
I'm really sorry to say this. Actually, I'm not.
Where's the trophy, boss?
100% sure. Timby, do you know what happened to the trophy? Because I actually wasn't there for that.
What trophy?
Wait, what
was-
are you doing here?
Right, you missed a lot of shit. I'm gonna catch him up in the fact that Lauke found his body and went back into it, and Lyola and Lauke, I guess Lyola also got her body back. Timby, you said that happened, or
I am presuming based off of the fact that that ship left.
right? Yeah,
I did not
and
witness it myself.
They left together. I assume to go back to the chest or something like that. And we got ejected from the palace, the thingy.
Yes, at this eyes dark, you can tell that everything's a little small, and there's these weird little like shakes below your feet because you are in a detached spire spiraling away from the cathedral ship. The three
So
of you are.
currently-
Hold on, wait a minute. Let me understand this right. We have gone back to the ship we found ourselves in.
Right.
We are now floating aimlessly in the waste of space away from it, as it has broken off. Our only two friends that know how to fly a plane or a spaceship have left us here.
Yeah.
Correct.
I still do not have my own body. You do not have yours, but
Oh,
everyone
yeah.
else has their body back.
Indeed,
Correct.
Yes.
So what you are telling me is this is going about as bad as possible.
Right. Yeah. Well, actually, there was a vampire rancor. It was quite nasty. I wish you could see.
Did you get the head of it?
It's asleep down at the bottom. I want to fight it.
Wait, it's
some
still
point
here?
later. Oh yeah,
Hold on.
absolutely.
Eyes start
I
turning
said,
around.
you, my friend.
Okay,
Oh,
I feel like we can. Okay, where's the gun? Where is the rifle?
Wait. Okay,
Sanguinary
first,
has the
we have to
rifle.
That would be my rifle.
We have to figure out.
Excellent.
how to
Let me
turn
have the
this
rifle,
around.
please.
We have a little more pressing concern. It's gonna stay down there. We're in its domain. We kind of are trying to find.
That does not sound good.
Well, it's down below. We're sort of in an area that seems more secure. It's gonna be hard for it to get through that doorway.
Understood.
It is at this
We're-
moment.
We're looking for either a way to steer this tower back to the main ship, or if our bodies are in this tower, we want to find those so we can go back to the
Oh,
lava.
sorry. There is more bad news for you. The Darth Perverse, if you recall, is
Yes.
currently on the cathedral trying to kill Lord Wraith, and we need to save Lord Wraith.
Right, yeah. Also, can she still hear everything I'm saying?
Oh, is that something that happens?
Yes. Well,
That's
not
fascinating.
really. It kind of comes and goes. It seems like I got this thing nailed in my chest. You were there for that, right? I saw
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
Yes, I remember this. You were talking
Literally,
to
she can
yourself.
Kind of
Boz, you
hear
do
when
hear
I
in your
speak
voice.
sometimes.
You do hear in your voice, or in your head, just very quietly. Every word.
Oh, son of a cat. All right.
And she says, you should all hold on.
Grab something, boys.
All right. So we're gonna say that you've been like moving up various like staircases and such. As you look around, if you're holding on, do you tell the others to do that?
Oh, hold on to something.
As you guys all kind of leap for, in that case, we'll sort of, actually no, go ahead and do either a lift with a bonus or a dodge with a bonus. All
thank
three
God I
of
don't
you.
have a penalty
Oh,
anymore.
Izdark, by the way, you do only have 2 force points. You did refresh, but then some of them got drained away from you, so that's a fun thing.
You're probably also a little bashed up from getting attacked by a rancor.
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't think he ever took any. He never deteriorated, but he definitely. You've got some rancor scratches on you for sure.
Not
Okay.
just any rancor.
Those are wounds of pride. Those
You're fine
are
with
those are
those.
battle scars. I would call them medals, if anything. All right, so dodge with advantage. You said
Dodge
With,
with a bonus or advantage, yeah.
with a bonus. Okay,
Dodge, or you can do a lift if you'd rather.
I will dodge. We are trying to roll over. Yeah.
Under, you're trying to roll.
I
Under
know.
your score. Yeah.
Extreme success.
Extreme success.
I had a success.
Success.
Also a standard success.
Standard success.
I think I will use 10 luck points to make it a hard success, just to ensure.
I'm gonna tell you not to do that. Save them for.
Then I will not do
Save
that.
them for
I'll
worse
stay here.
stuff, which is coming.
Oh,
Izdark,
understood.
as you kind of Boz like grabs onto that Izdark, and we'll say Boz is like grabbing more fervently, and the others are just like, okay, you kind of like grab onto some, handrails. You suddenly hear a massive explosion below you, and you see that the staircase you are walking up has just been destroyed about 10 meters below where you were. So basically, if you now to go down the way you've come up, imagine kind of like Harry Potter staircases, cathedral, just like up, kind of going up in like this big, because you're about here now. So you are now, as far as you can tell, trapped, and you do see like some Stennis shifters below in those servants' robes, just kind of looking up and sort of sneaking away, as if they've trapped you up here intentionally.
But that area hasn't like detached from the main building. It's just we can't go down there easily now.
You are now you were going up this spire that you pretty sure knew exactly what it was, and now that you're about halfway up it, it's been detonated. Your main point of going down it has been destroyed. Perhaps there's some other departure point. Oh wait, you see another explosion over there. They just blew up another staircase.
Can I just clarify a couple things? Perhaps Buzz and Sanguinary, you can help me with this. My understanding is that we are still on the cathedral ship. In this town?
We're on
a part of
part
it.
his ship.
But we are. So hold on. The part that we are on, is it attached to the rest of the cathedral?
It is not.
No.
Understood. Okay. Does this part? Does it have its own propulsion system?
This
That's
is what we're trying to
figure
discover.
out, yeah.
We do not know that. All right. So we are headed towards the whatever control area would be. Yeah.
We are
Yes.
hoping that
Well,
that's the
that's-
case.
Yeah. we're hoping.
Understood. And it seems like there are explosions behind
Right, yeah,
us.
it seems like they're trying to check.
That's new. That's new.
Okay. So it seems like what we should be doing is running as if our pants were on fire, because
Right,
they are
yeah.
about to be if we do not.
Also, look at for anyone who's looking creepy in a hood or whatever, and is going like,
Yeah,
you
that
should kill them
yeah,
on sight.
Understood.
those are the ones blowing things up right now.
Right, they're the ones
Totally
that-
understand
so-
that. I feel like I have enough of an idea to help us
Oh,
survive this experiment.
Right,
excellent.
so shall we?
I'll
get going?
take off the rifle and hand it to him. Excellent.
Excellent.
Then let us run.
I feel much better now. Let us go.
So you guys start charging up the spire. And you will reach the top of it after too long. Izdark kind of like, feeling some stuff. Obviously, you've lost a fair bit. You've seemingly unconscious. It seems like the anomid body is actually pretty bad. at kind of like handling all these amber sort of transferences of consciousness, which is how I'm going to just explain why Eisdark and Adelard are unconscious so much in this game. Both of them. It's both of them. It's the body. So as you sort of rush up, you guys come to sort of a landing, leading into sort of a large main chamber at the top of this spire. Sanguinary, something begins to dawn on you as you reach this landing.
What's that?
That's not the turbo lift you guys came out of when you came up here, and this is not the dining spire you were in.
Okay, so slight miscalculation, Boz. This is not the way to the dining room as I thought. The turbo lifts do look very similar in my defense, but this one is slightly different. It's facing opposite direction. Now that I've sort of reoriented, the whole area is sort of shifting, so my equilibrium is a little off.
Right,
I'm
so
sure you
next
experienced
time
that as well.
I question.
I was very certain. I would. You
not
questioned.
certain enough, apparently.
Apparently not.
No. All right. Well, next time, be more certain. No, I'm just gonna keep running.
I could not have been more certain.
All right. So there is
Living Force.
Yo.
I would just like to know when we enter a new room. First thing I want to do is scope out avenues, anybody that could be in avenues that they could arrive in, and if there's nothing worrisome there, making sure that if we're being followed, that I can choke point them as much as possible.
Okay, so as you've gotten to this landing, you've kind of come up the main staircase. You do actually see there is another staircase leading up to here about 5 to 10 meters away, but that seems to probably be the sort of side staircase that you also saw blown up below you. There is a turbo lift embankment. So you could just try to take a turbo lift down the side. There's no way they've rigged that or anything. There is a small hallway going around sort of the side of the main room you're looking at. So that's like a choke point. So if someone were to come out of there, you could really sort of choke point if there were people up there. But the main thing you see here is a set of large ornate double doors straight ahead, seeming to lead to the large sort of whatever the main chamber of this is. And sort of behind you is a beautiful stained glass window looking out.
Can I look again to see if I see any of the writing in this room?
Eisdark, could you please make a luck roll for me?
Yes. No.
Okay. Boz, you can make one as well. Neither of you are in bodies. That's fine.
What would it be to sort of assess the, like, logical layout of a building?
Oh my god. Can I use force points, please?
You can use a force point to re-roll it, sure.
I can't add. I can't.
You cannot add luck to a luck roll. Is a sad thing. But
Did I heal at all? Was there any healing happening?
Maybe you just get hurt more.
You, if anything, would not have healed. Yeah, if anything, you would have been in worse condition.
I'm so mad. It's an 18 and a 17 is an extreme success.
You did get healed up from the cuts. No, that happened. From when you got sliced up by...
Oh, yes, they actually did that to you while you were unconscious. Yes.
Oh, thank you so much.
Boz, you're one luck point away from an extreme.
I'm 1 point away on the roll.
Can I give him a luck point?
No.
Can I give him inspiration?
Oh, no.
Can I spend the rest of my force points?
I think we're gonna have a...
Ah, shit.
Instead, Boz,
a bargain.
If you want, I'll give you
Son of a bitch.
1 luck point for one more step down the dark side track.
That would put me at 5.
It does. It means you're evil. Fundamentally evil at 5. Or let it go and trust that you'll find your body eventually. He's not going to kill you before you find your body this late, right? He would.
My favorite thing will be if you do this and then you say, there's nothing here.
That would be really funny, honestly. I wouldn't even be mad. Is it worth it?
It's always worth it, Jeremy.
I'm gonna do it.
All right, Jeremy, please go to 5 on the dark side track. Some rules change when you hit 5. Boz. So basically, Boz, you're sort of looking around, and you're sort of standing here. So the way I'm going to do this, Luck, is I'm actually going to give you like a successful use the Force as part of this, because you did just go down the dark side track. You have succeeded at that, which means you suddenly, you don't see it out here, but beyond those ornate doors, you have a suspicion. You feel something. You feel those stupid amber crystals. Those metalsome light side infused crystals that have caused all of this trouble. You sense a concentration of them beyond those doors. You know the Force is guiding you. And this is not Darth Perverse. This is your own mastery of the Force. She may know what you're finding, but this is not her voice. This is your own voice and the darkness within you saying, take what you want. Boz, you have a sudden certainty that beyond this chamber is one of those concentrations of crystals embedded in a wall, like how you found Lauke's body. And that maybe you could go through there and force your way through it if Lord Rythe is unable to control the stones so far away. And you could put yourself back into your body, and then you could kill this miserable bastard who has caused so much trouble for you. You could destroy Doom Toronto for good. You could get your own worthy Mune body and absolutely obliterate him, which is something that you have sworn to do already.
I have. All right.
So you see those doors. So there's a small sort of side kind of passage going off, sort of looping around, but you see these main doors, and behind you is a big, beautiful... So are you approaching the doors?
I am, yeah.
All right, so Boz strides straight towards the doors. Eyes dark, you're keeping an eye on that hallway. Sanguinary, you're looking at the turbo lift, being like, no. They do look the same, guys. And Boz, as you sort of push open the doors, they are not locked. What you see beyond is a massive, beautiful, and largely sort of like glass open to the sky, which for you is tilting wildly as this thing kind of just, spins around, kind of uncontrolled. Whatever inertial dampeners are keeping it from you guys constantly falling, but there's a pretty like eerie effect. It's just above. It's like as kind of this, this solar system spins around you, and you notice that you've come to a. So basically, you were hoping, Sanguinary, that this would be either a place that Lord Rythe would be or like a command station, right? Something
More
tactically useful?
Yeah.
Perfect. So what you found is a giant art gallery. If you didn't know this, Pierce fumbled a luck roll earlier when it was a luck of if it was any. I was kind of having him roll a luck to see if it was anything familiar was around. And since he rolled a fumble, I said there's nothing familiar, but you're sure about where you are. And so that's why you guys are up here now, trapped in an art gallery.
Nice.
Excellent time for the
Nice.
first
This
fumble.
does not look like a control panel, control station.
I'm gonna ignore
Certainly
him.
does
I'm
not.
walking right into the room. I'm trying to like hone in on that feeling that I had.
Very good. Boz, make a, you know what?
I'm following.
Boz, make an easy search your feelings roll. Eyes Dark, this is a very large chamber. There are several little doors on the sides. Kind of imagine that it's probably like servant access points or places you can load artwork in and out of. You also see at the rear, there is an area that looks like it's been set up to be like a bar of some kind. Like this is definitely the kind of place you could like have, a reception of some kind.
I would like to make my way over to behind the bar so that I could provide myself a little cover.
It's
if
an
needed.
excellent point for cover. Boz, so you just need under an 84 for this.
Yeah, that is a 50.
50, perfect. So Boz, even though it's like, you really do feel like you are being drawn in a direction. And you walk towards one of the walls, and sure enough, you see that half-written High Galactic on one side. With a little bit more searching, you're pulled to just 2 or 3 meters behind that, but then you see another area of it on the other side about like 4 meters away, as if maybe if those 2 wall panels slid, it would reveal what was hidden behind.
Boss, I think we can rig some Molotov cocktails here if we can get ready and prepare ourselves for whatever comes next.
Einstein. I'm gonna try and use telekinesis to move the wall.
All right, you need a high degree of success for this. So I don't know how many force points you have left, but I would potentially burn some of those and get ready to try some luck, because you'll need you're gonna need a 7 or lower, sir.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's a good idea, Isark. I can probably give you a hand with that.
This is baller,
Excellent.
and
I really want this to work, but we'll see. I'm
Boss,
going
this
to
is
use
not the
both
time to
I'm gonna
watch
use
art.
one of my force points, and I'm going to use another one to reroll it.
to reroll if necessary, so you'll have the thing. Beautiful. And you do have a lot of luck, and I'll allow you can use that too.
Okay. It's a 1 on on the ones place,
Okay.
but it was a 90. So.
Well, but you had a bonus, right?
Yes.
Both bonuses were 90?
Huh? No, I'm rolling the second one.
Oh, sorry. You do. Oh, gotcha. Cool.
Okay, that's a 21. I'm gonna use my last force point to reroll the bonus.
Well, you reroll both of them, or you could just
Yes.
spend. You have 87 luck points. You could spend 14 luck. You will not get to. You've already used luck points, actually, so you can't check the box for telekinesis in any circumstances. So
Right.
you could simply spend 14 luck and guarantee this, or you could re-roll, hoping that one of them's a 0, basically.
If I reroll, can I not use the previous roll?
You can use the previous roll, that's fine. Yeah. If you basically...
I will use my last force point then.
Understood. So you're drained of force points. Ooping. Hey guys, you know what's really cool when a status shifter drains you when you have no force points? Don't worry about it.
Cool.
Tight.
This is good. This is getting good.
Gotta cash in that luck.
That's a 10. So it's down to an 11.
Okay, an
So
11,
I'm
so
gonna
it
spend-
only costs you 4.
I will spend 4.
Understood. So you spend 4 of your luck points. And basically, you guys and we're gonna say, actually, Boz, I'm gonna say, because this is so dark side infused, you're a little more Vader about this. Your guys like Boz. What are you doing? And Boz is just standing at a wall, and Boz like stretches his arm out, and then just a wall panel just is ripped from the moorings and goes sliding along the side.
Has he been able to do that the whole time?
No, that is definitely new.
I'm
That,
full of surprises, you know. And I'll walk through the hole.
You've ripped out even, so it's kind of it's like off. It's kind of more face to the side, so that there's no passage necessary within. Because I actually am a true dick. What you see is a Trandoshan body.
Motherfucker.
Can I make a psychology roll on Boz?
You may make a psychology roll on what Boz just did.
I found a gift for you.
But Boz, I need you to actually make a willpower roll because you are enraged.
Okay.
I rolled the same thing twice.
That's a 10, so that's an extreme success.
Very good. So your instinct upon seeing this Trandoshan body, and you're friends with Isdark, but your instinct is to just carve it to ribbons with your vibroblade. But you managed to tamper that because you understand the dark side will provide, and you do hear a voice sort of pause, kind of like you hear like almost an intake of a consciousness before Perverse says to you, "Impressive, most impressive."
Can I think back to her?
Yeah.
Coming for you next.
Oh, I'm counting on it. You may be a worthwhile apprentice. Prepare to suffer greatly, and the rewards will be even greater. Cool, tight. So basically, Isdark, what was your psychology roll?
76, a success.
A success. I'm gonna say just a normal success is enough to say Boz seems mad and unhinged. And I'm gonna say even a normal success says it's probably this fucking evil amulet he's wearing that stabbed into his chest, and also his eyes look just a little yellow.
I see.
That's new.
I'm gonna actually walk out from behind the bar. Do I see my body in there?
I'm gonna
gift
say,
for you.
given the position, he said there's a gift for you, but you have not yet seen it. You'll have to walk. You have to get almost. It's like facing away from the bar, you know. So once you walk to the side, you'll see it. But right now, you don't.
I will do that, but I'm going to. Currently, Boz seems to be the biggest threat in the room, so I'm going to
I don't know why you
walk
say that.
in such a way as to, you know, stay ready.
You're not pointing a gun at him, but you've got it sort of like
No.
Okay.
Yes.
And
Yes.
saying
I maintain direct eye contact with you the entire time.
sanguinary.
I'm gonna follow the original plan now, and I'm going to stay behind the bar and continue to make improvised explosives.
You're just like.
It seems like they might be necessary in a moment.
Okay. So Eyes Dark, you sort of walk around, and you, lo and behold, see. You do see your body, which, despite the threat posed by Boz, I would imagine does take your focus for a moment.
Yes.
You see your body in this sort of like, in this opening sarcophagus, as this sort of coolant steam is sort of, this coolant mist is rising out of it. There's an amber glow in this room, although it's not as concentrated since so much of it has been blown apart. And you also notice that within, kind of like on the inner walls of the sarcophagus that are now open, are still ancient, but like recreations of things such as whatever equipment you had in your Trandoshan hunting rifle. Something that you can tell will function the way that your own true weapon really would.
This completely takes my full attention. I drop the rifle in my hand. I go over.
Sanguinary, you're throwing your gun on the ground. Yes.
I feel the new, my baby sitting there. And then I touch my body, like confirming it's real, and I turn to Boz and say, "How do I get in here? Can you do that, Boz?"
I've got nothing for you. When Lauke just looked at it, he just kind of flew into his body. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know, kiss it or something?
I don't think that is right.
Kiss it or something.
But I will stand directly in front of him.
I
Like,
how this fucking magic bullshit.
I'm gonna put
works,
two
but-
hands on my body and like kind of try and will myself into it.
Very good. And in fact, that is what you'll do. Eyes Dark, I need you to make a willpower roll.
Not my best. I don't even know where it is.
It's under mental. For you, it is a 50.
I think it would have been funny if it had to make out with his unconscious crime body, but that's fine.
I rolled a 55,
55.
so I will use some luck points and
All
get
right.
it to a success.
How many
Will you get it to a... So you can spend 5 to get it to a normal success, or you can spend 30 to get it to a hard success.
I will spend 30 and get it to a hard success.
I'm going to say
I want my body.
that is the right thing to do in this situation, largely because your dear friend Lord Reith cannot help you because he's not connected to the... Yeah. So Eyes Dark, you sort of begin to will yourself in the body. You see Eyes Dark like concentrating, just like wanting to be in this body. Sanguinary, as you're sort of stuffing rags into the top of, Corellian brandies, sort of kind of like can't really see him. You just see him there, and Boss is just standing like a fucking psychopath, like staring behind him. Just no movement, eyes open. And then Eyes Dark, you're staring at your Trandoshan body. And suddenly, the amber crystals begin to glow even more brightly, filling your eyes. And as you sort of blink against them and open them, you're looking at the Anomid body through your true Trandoshan eyes. And it is at this point, Eyes Dark, that you watch as Adelard's body falls to the ground.
It worked, Buzz! It worked! I am back, my friend.
Congratulations. If
Ah!
I could just find my creeping body, we'd be back in action.
He goes up and just grabs Boz by the face and says, "It is only a matter of time, my friend. You have done the impossible and found mine. We will find yours together. Never will we be separated. Don't you worry. I will help you with this." And then he goes and grabs
I take his head in my hands. I can't on you, friend.
Yes. I go and grab my gun and
All
And
right,
somewhere inside, Izdark finally feels whole.
Wonderful, Isaac. I'm
really
very happy to
excited.
hear that for you, sir. I'm also going to tell you, I've now created a new tab for you called Izdark and Cloned Body.
Yep.
So you can now use that. An interesting thing that's happening here is I'm sort of changing, I'm doing this on the fly here. Your inventory is changing. You don't have any of the things you were carrying. You now have you now just have what you used to have, although it's mostly, sort of recreations of those things. And you are wearing like a pretty sort of just like basic sort of tunic. But that is now your stat. So basically you did just get much worse at a couple of physical things, but you also got way better at some physical, so kind of you're back to who you were.
I do want to take the armor off of the old body and put it on.
So you're stealing Adelard's armor?
If I'm just wearing ragged, yeah.
Oh no, your body would have whatever kind of armor you used to have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm cool.
Okay,
Then I'm great. This feels amazing.
Yeah. Here, I'll delete that. You no longer have 6 fingers. You're no longer speaking through a vocoder, which is awesome.
This is my voice again.
You can feel that. You can feel that if you cut your arm off, it would just grow back, which is a cool thing about being you.
I think it might be time to take the fight back to these enemies that we face. Just really excited to use this gun.
Yes, it would seem that this body suits you.
Indeed.
Oh, you also have you are going to lose 1 level of the thing, but that's okay. But you do now have your infrared vision back, which is going to would have been really helpful like a few minutes ago when you guys were just crawling around in the dark. So base that. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Izdark, as you sort of have gone back into your body, and Boz is this fury. Boz, you hear one more voice in your head. Oh, I'm so sorry. Did I not mention? Your body is safe with me. I've discovered it. If you want it back, I can certainly help you.
What do you want for it?
Well, destroying the others would be a great start. And as the tower bobs along, and as the Chiss sit in a facility away from their diamond arrow, and as Kyra's doing who knows what, I think that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh my.
Oh boy.
Exponentially worse every single time.
Not at all. This is the best result that ever could happen.
Yeah, we saved the.
You even have a vampire
Chiss.
rancor to hunt. So,
I'm
it's
so
great.
excited.
Like,
Could not be happier.
That's really what's going to cause not your dark side powers. None of this. The
He's gonna wake
kill
up the
versus
Rancor and
save
get
the Rancor is the.
Oh boy.
Oh, well, guys, this is a really fun situation. So now we have 3 of the 4 bodies recovered. Adelard, I think, will probably be waking up in just a couple moments. We've got a couple Chiss off doing their own thing. We now have 4 of our players trapped. So yeah, basically the balance is we have we have 5 players trapped. Yes, technically, we have one consciousness in its body on the cathedral ship. We have another body with no consciousness on the cathedral ship. Then we have 2 people in their bodies in this spire. 1 body that contains 2 consciousnesses on the spire, and 2 Chiss about to get fucked up by a wampa. So
No!
it's guys, there's a lot going on, and I would just recommend that you all tune in tomorrow for the grand finale of both Luminous Beings and Crude Matter. If you've only been watching the Sunday one, which I sort of respect as a weird exercise because every week here surprises everyone else, I definitely recommend you tune in tomorrow where, there have been 8 players in 4 bodies. Now there are 8 players in 7 bodies. So the balance is a little different. So I strongly recommend you guys come check these out. We just got a bunch of gifts. Thank you, anonymous gifter. That's so kind of you to do that.
We had a lot going on today. Deadwood Jedi, thank you so much for rating and joining the cast.
Thank you a lot.
That's what we do.
Also, I am really sorry that we sort of I timed that out I timed that out really bad.
It happens. It happens.
Also, hello, my name is Bit, rated with a party of 10. Thank you so much to
hello, my name is
hanging
Bit.
out or who just stopped by. And Skull 4 Initiative stopped by as well with 16 viewers. Thank you all so much for that.
That is deeply appreciated.
And we had an anonymous person just gift a bunch of subs. Thank you all so much.
Super nice of you to do that. We really, really, really appreciate that. Yeah, this Star Wars game has been super crazy. And tomorrow, something's gonna happen. But this feels like a Star Wars thing because here at the end, it's bad situation. A lot of things, a lot of places, a lot of problems.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm very excited for all of us to show up tomorrow and for everyone except for Dan and Boz to just sit and watch while you guys have a battle inside your mind.
Just like suddenly you're just in like a black void with like a glowing neon grid on the ground. Like, you're in my mind now. Yeah. Oh god, that's amazing. Yeah, well, this is gonna be some really fun stuff, so please tune in tomorrow.
7:30.
7:30 here for the sort of for Crude Matter Chapter 11, but it is also kind of Luminous Beings because really it's just been one game. It's been one game. This has been so much fun. I can't even tell you guys. On Tuesday, 7:30, join us for Chapter 2 of Murder by Murder, which is really weird and different. Murder by Murder is an Agatha Christie style murder mystery. There's no magic. There's no supernatural stuff. It's literally just like a weird mystery set in the 1930s England. So far, it's been very fun. It's kind of like a slower bird, but it's a really different vibe. We're using this kind of super simple system that I think, based on even the first session, I think it's going to do everything I needed to do. So yeah, check that out. Really fun. That's kind of while our noir game's on a brief hiatus. And then, on Friday, I don't even know where we'll be in Blood from a Stone, but after last week, holy smokes, that one was crazy too. I feel like there's a pattern to how I describe these games. They're all crazy. Yes, so Blood from a Stone is our horror game. Please check that out, 7:30. It's going to be awesome. We'll check in with some characters or maybe do something all new. Who knows? So yeah, that's what's going on the channel. 1 week from tonight, we probably will just have maybe like a just chatting or like a hangout kind of thing. Might even be a one shot by then. We're gonna have some one shots and just kind of hangouts on Twitch for Sundays and Mondays for a while before in August we get some new stuff popping in at the beginning of August. So look forward to all of that. Thank you all so much for watching. Go to our about page here on Twitch to see the social stuff for all of our wonderful players. Join our Discord, where we are a lot more active kind of than we have been and sort of can talk about some stuff there. That's been really fun. Also, please follow us here on Twitch if you can. We also would like you to, I guess, follow us on TikTok, because we're at We're on TikTok, and Lauren's trying to get us to 1,000 views on that. For some reason, I still don't quite understand.
1,000 followers.
1,000 followers.
700.
Oh, that's...
Yeah, with some great informational content that I am delivering. I am but a vessel for the information. I am
delivering informational content.
However, now I know this information, so if somebody's like, did you really know that? I do now.
I do now.
That's all that matters.
Burn. I love it. So thank you all so much for all of that. I think that's all I've got. Anybody want to throw out any plugs or comments or concerns or complaints? Complaints are welcome.
About the general state of the world and also our characters.
The state of your characters, I want those complaints. I want you guys to be upset about the things I've done. Also,
I cannot wait to have a death match with Doomtown.
Oh my god. Also, Jed, when they didn't bring your head, it was so rough. And I'm going to tell you that Sanguinary was like, okay, well, let's try to just like cut off like one of the bigger knives so he can have like a small trophy. And then he rolled.
I take back everything bad I said about you, Sanguinary.
And then he rolled like he rolled a failure as he like reached into it. And I said, as you like reach in to try to get a knife, you have this odd sensation as you realize there's another like knife sticking out of your hand here that you like didn't realize as you were reaching. And he just goes, okay, we're not bringing it in.
I basically like impaled my arm, and it was like, this is not worth it. We were told like, we gotta run. We gotta run. I have no idea what's going on. We're suddenly not here anymore. We're running. There's a head here.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I did try to bring you something.
And technically,
appreciate
there is one trophy from it. This is one Boz had collected on his own. It's it was a shoulder blade. It's a knife monster, so shoulder blade. Anyway, everybody, thanks again for watching. Try to ignore the last thing I just said. And we are so happy to have you all here. We're so excited for the grand finale of this very strange, multiple body, two night a week campaign. So until next time, we'll close with the words: the Force will be with you always.